Take that out.
Good evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 regular city council meeting. Would you please all join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call please, Misty.
Clements.
Here.
Dewater. Morris.
Here.
Weir. Here. Smock.
Here.
Number 4, approval of the May 7th, 2024 agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5 tonight is public discussion. If you'd like to address the council and the mayor, you can come up to the podium. State your first name and your address, please.
Good evening, council. I just had one simple question as far as the, no complaining on it. At the last meeting, I had asked you about the engine and the squad car, and you said it was under warranty. I see we have a bill, you looked at the tape there, and now I see we got $9,000 for the engine, so the city's paying for the engine. Okay.
Yeah.
My question that I'd ask for a request is in the future that we work together to see about getting out of the SUVs and the Dodges, because they're very expensive. We dealt with this with the old console, we're still dealing with the new console, and I hope that we look at, I think the pickup, the chief, I think that was a good investment for the pickup, Chief Dean.
Yeah, we like it. Go ahead.
So I'm hoping that we would look at those options when we go forward to purchasing stuff in the future. Okay?
Thank you, Steve.
Again, just to help clarify that out too, Steve, I believe what was mentioned was that the vehicle was not under warranty, but going the route we were for the 9,500 and some change, put an additional 3-year warranty back on the new engine. So now if we do have any mechanical issues with the current engine through the remaining 3 years of that vehicle, those should be covered. So it wasn't a warranty issue up front, it was out of warranty and had to be replaced. But the engine that was put in it was certified to be under warranty going forward for, I believe it was 3 years.
Yes, that is fine.
Which then takes us to when that vehicle should be rotated out anyways, so, but yes, those were all things that I know I even asked, and I believe several of us, that, is it worth the 10 grand, do we cycle it out, do we look at something different? And this, because of the warranty, was labeled to be probably the best option out of, still having to spend money regardless.
Thanks for that clarification, Jeff, appreciate it.
Anyone else this evening? Okay, we'll move on to item number 6. I do have a request from Councilor Clements to vote on the regular minutes separately. So we'll first and foremost approve the consent agenda, which is request from Lofty's for their monthly summer car show event.
So since they started advertising already, should we tell them that? I moved to approve the consent agenda with the meeting minutes removed as an individual item.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approval of the April 16th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
I asked to have this removed just so that we could possibly add a sentence to the minutes regarding the item of purchasing the,
Durapatcher.
thank you. What is in the minutes is absolutely correct, but I felt we should have the cost in there as a matter of record. So I'm suggesting that we add the sentence, our cost would be $14,000. So it's in the record, we just didn't approve a carte blanche expenditure, no dollar figure attached.
Probably not a bad idea for clarity.
Good catch.
Motion to approve the April 16th, 2024 regular meeting minutes as amended.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Excellent. Number 7 is approval of the resolution calendar.
Make a motion to approve.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Clemens,
yes.
DeWater,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Weir,
Yes.
Smock.
Yes.
Number 8 on our agenda tonight is a request from Mike Diamond. Mike is in the house, so if you have any questions, please direct them towards him. With People Service to approve the pump replacement for the East End and Lafayette lift stations with electric pump in the amount of $52,214 as budgeted for FY25. The reason it's on the agenda right now is to get the order placed, so they will be here by July. And if you have any questions, like I said, Mike is here.
Mike, refresh my memory, one of 3 pumps?
Both these stations have 2 pumps.
Would you mind to come out to the podium?
Yeah, sorry. Thank
That's okay.
you, Mayor. Thank you. Yeah, both these stations have 2 pumps.
Okay.
And then both of these stations, both pumps are bad. So we want at least one really good one, and try to get the most out of the second one as we can. Then we'll make a plan for the recommendations as we move forward.
And these dollar figures do not include freight and installation.
Right, the freight installation,
Everything.
I have not actually seen the invoices, they're usually pretty low. A lot of times they just bring them up in a truck and then the installation is hourly rate, so that's why that's not included.
So tonight, we just need to reflect on the motion plus the freight and installation, because it'll be whatever it is.
That's kind of under their control at times.
Right. But this way you can do it and get paid.
I make a motion to approve that request.
Second.
Thank you.
Yes, you bet. Thank you, Mike. And again, as Sandy stated, this does not, the $52,214 does not include freight or the labor. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 9, request to approve service agreement with Operation Threshold for FY24 in the amount of $2,500 as budgeted. Move to approve.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 10 is a request from Sergeant Newman to send 2 officers to a training with Mid-States Organized Crime on August 27th through the 29th in Deadwood, South Dakota in the amount of $1,322.
Motion to approve request.
Second.
This, before I have something to add. Actually, it did say on, Sandy brought to my attention, it did say on there, it didn't include, mileage, rental car, food. So we figured that out, and it looked like it would be a lot less expensive probably to get a rental car, but still, it's gonna be $1943 additional. I'm sorry, $1943 total for that. And that is budgeted, actually, items 10 and 11 were both budgeted for FY25.
Can't they do Zoom?
This is like a conference with, it's an organization called MOCIC.
Do you mind stepping up to the
Oh,
podium,
sure.
please?
Sorry.
It's just, we like to have it on the video and we can
Yep,
hear you
I
better.
understand. So this is a conference with an organization called MOCIC, which is a group that we have been associated with for probably as long as I've worked here. And we pay to be a member of that organization. And they put on various trainings throughout the year. And, so to do it in Zoom, it's, I mean, it would probably be, I suppose you could if they offered it. And there's people coming to this gathering, probably from all over the Midwest.
To Deadwood, South Dakota.
Yep.
You probably get a good rate.
It's gotta be the center of the universe.
We were talking about that earlier.
They won the bid for it this
So we're
year.
at 1940 something.
1943.
I would move to approve the request.
I'll hold my second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
And number 11, request from Sergeant Newman to send 2 officers to firearm instructor school at Iowa Law Enforcement Academy in the amount not to exceed $2,410. And again, that one is scheduled for September 30th through the end of that week, October 4th. So that also is budgeted for FY25.
I move approval of the request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 12, request to approve low bid for the drainage system in the Community Response Center basement with Iowa Wausau in the amount of $32,117. Also through that, just to make it, because I've sent out a request to everyone in council, if this was something you wanted to include in the budget amendment, to go ahead and get moving forward with that project. Also, you know, that's something that we need to approve as well, to go ahead and get the service started.
And Mayor, just to offer a little more detail, especially to those that are looking at this saying, okay, now we're having to make a budget amendment to spend this, which initially to me says, okay, we didn't have the money, so we're having to make an amendment. To be responsible to this, just for clarification, I'll try to summarize it as you have to me,
Yes,
that rather than waiting longer for a problem that has existed for a long time, we're effectively basically taking the budget amendment out of reserves.
right,
But this is an item that was budgeted for this coming year's budget that simply just wouldn't be spent. So effectively then at the end of the year, that budget item would just simply go back into reserves. So we're just paying ourselves early for an item that would be budgeted for next year. And I am for this, because especially being one at the building that's been there, the basement's useless right now. And if we can catch it before, hopefully another wet season isn't here, or, you know, any flooding that may potentially happen even in the fall, you know, if we've had,
that's right,
we can get it taken care of ahead of time so that we can potentially use that again would be great, so.
yes,
Just wanted that as a point of clarification that, yes, it would require a budget amendment this year because it was not budgeted for, but we're basically doing that out of reserves to get the project moving now, simply to take what was budgeted this next year
right.
to put back into reserves.
That is correct, Justin.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I move passage of this request and to start it as soon as possible.
Second that.
Is this a fix or just a hope?
Would you please come up to the podium?
Is this a fix or is this just a hope? Because we've done so many of these, I mean, is it,
Well, we've never done this, so what we found out through the process is, you know, they took televised underneath.
Yeah.
They cut away a big area and televised the lines underneath. One of them is collapsed, and what was the other one, just full?
plugged with their,
Plugged, it's completely plugged. So it doesn't have anywhere else to go but come up through the basement.
but this isn't a guarantee, this is just
He was
hope to
really-
fix.
They are very confident that, you know, Dick met with them, Chris and I met with them. Midwestern Basement the other quote wasn't as confident, but this guy was confident. He says, we've been doing this process and we've been very successful.
Well, hopefully it works this time.
And there'll be a
We've
service
never-
agreement.
We
And what?
haven't done
The service
anything
agreement.
else.
Well, I
Yeah,
thought we've
and
had
the
this
service
in the
agreement.
past and,
But that
We've
was,
never,
you know, those were half efforts.
Oh.
It's never really
so how
done.
big is the tank that's going in?
Two
Hold
different, four
for?
different subbuildings.
You know, re-break a tile, fixing the existing tile, putting in new tile, rerouting a bunch of things, new pits, bigger pumps.
So this one has a chance of,
yeah,
if not,
Very good chance.
fill in the basement.
there's a survival rate,
Yeah,
yes.
they all said, well, there's never a guarantee.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But I mean.
it's always gonna be a hope, but it's a pretty good hope.
Can you state your name and address?
Oh, I'm Jeff O'Brien, 939 McCoy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Mayor, Mr. Sheriff said there's a service agreement along with this.
There is,
What does that
yeah.
entail that we? I mean, it's not.
You just can't be hurt back then, so.
People let us know all the time on the videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up.
Yep.
But now, what is this service agreement? I've been involved in those in the past. I mean, they get it fixed, it's a great deal. What does the service agreement say? They're gonna come back and work free? Or we're gonna negotiate
It's
a
part
price?
of the price, yeah. It's
Is
part
that
of the
some kind
price.
of contract?
It's part of the price for the first year, and then it'll be reconsidered after that first year.
It's actually a maintenance agreement. They're gonna flush the system, check the pumps. That's what.
Yearly, you mean?
Huh?
You're talking yearly?
This is for the first year, right, Dick?
Huh?
Just for the first year,
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
not on the
yeah,
price,
no, it'll be
Yeah.
600 per year.
yes,
to do that process.
right, but that will be reapproved every year, it won't just be ongoing.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Yep. And just for public awareness, one of the biggest problems is with the basement and why we are going through, chewing through pumps like there's nobody's business, is there a ton of iron oxide water that is going through that system. So this, cleaning out the system, having that maintenance is gonna prolong the life of the pumps. So that's the purpose of the maintenance.
The floors are orange.
The floors are orange.
Orange.
Some of the walls are black.
Yeah.
Almost my orange.
Yeah, so all in favor? Opposed? Number 13, request from Public Works Director to accept the low bid for street sealing in the amount of $61,177 with Prairie Road Builders, and this was budgeted for FY24.
Move passage of the request.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Number 14, request to consider backhaul services to neighboring cities to include Jessup, Elkhorn Heights, and Raymond. Chris, do you want to speak on this at the podium?
Correct.
So basically, we would just go, if they had any obstructions in their sewer lines, or we helped out Raymond with a line with People Services time back, but that would be, we would just be on call for them as well.
So is this that they don't have their own systems?
Right.
Okay.
And our response time is way quicker than any of the other people that do this.
It's a very specialized piece of equipment.
Right, right.
And we actually sent out emails to all these cities, and these are the ones that responded back that yes, they would like to utilize our services. Raymond actually, like Chris said, did utilize the service, so it's a great thing to offer. It could be up to 24 hours before the one in Des Moines can respond.
Yeah, that was like 6 hours they waited for that one.
Yeah.
When we respond to something, what's typical time on the job?
Well, I'd like my guys to be clocked in 30 minutes.
No, I mean like when they're on the job, how much time does it take them?
Oh, if I get a call from my house, which I'm 8 minutes away, I can come in, get the back call, get it opened up usually within an hour, hour and a half.
So when we go out, we're basically getting $250.
That'd be 500. Rate of $250 an hour with a minimum call of 2 hours.
Okay.
So we've got $500 coming in, covering any labor, potential wear and tear to the unit. Again, work comp always comes in, so that was the other thing that always came up in the past, was if someone gets hurt, who's the liable party?
The cities have seen this and they're on board with all of our directives.
And this would actually be put into a formal agreement, a 28E agreement, and put out to each city to approve and sign it.
And like their operators will be there with us, like People Services, they would be assisting us, we would just have the machine. So it's worked well in the past.
Okay.
Because in other cities, they do maintain the collection systems, like Elko, for instance.
Thank you, Chris.
I make a motion to approve that request.
Mayor, can I say something on this first? It's good that we're being proactive, doing things, but I was on the council when we spent the $300,000 to buy the piece of equipment. My first question, I don't know, I didn't call an attorney. What is our legal capacity if we're having our city equipment go to another community and do work and the truck breaks, someone's hurt? A lot of open-ended questions here that aren't really answered. I was against this when this came up a year ago. I'm still against it. I think for $300,000, I think our guys have enough to do in our town. I think if we go subbing this out, my first question would be, let's just say on a day like today, they call, he gets a call, Mr. Sheriff gets a call, and they gotta go out there during the day when they're working. How does the employee's work schedule? I don't care if it's $250 an hour. I talked to somebody in this field and they said they get 500 and up an hour to use equipment. So my question would be, what happens with our payroll when Chris and another employee goes out and say they're spending their half a day there and they're working on the job? What about their work here? What about their 40 hours a week to work here, not in another community for $250 an hour? I think this should be looked at in a lot of venues before just agreeing to this. That is a very technical piece of equipment, like Mr. Dewater said. We bought it for our community. We did not buy it to sell out to other cities.
Well, you know, though, just to clarify that, it was a huge expense. And some of us figured that we need to generate cash with that machine.
Why do we need to generate cash for it?
Pay for it.
It's a piece of equipment. It's
Well, because
general
certain
fund money.
council members were whining about it all the time, sitting there, not doing anything. So some of us thought, why not, you said something about proactive, why not put it to work and help neighboring communities?
I'm just against it for all of it. You
Well,
can
I
get-
know,
you're
but what are you against?
Okay, I'm calling the meeting to order.
That's
Mr. Sewell.
Mr. Sewell.
Mr. Dewater.
Mayor, I believe you had a motion and a second on the floor.
Yes, and I'm gonna just add one more thing to that, by what Mr. Sewell had brought up. Yes, legal counsel will go through the 2080E agreement, and we will ensure that we are covered in all aspects.
Can we get a copy of that, Mayor, by requesting to the city clerk when that's ready?
Actually, it'll be on an agenda to
Okay.
approve the
All right,
final.
thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 15 is a request to amend the design standards for Eagles Landing. I have already talked to several of you regarding this, but it's more like, when we actually created the design standards, it was gonna be, it looked completely different. Hotels, restaurants, office buildings, it wasn't what it is now. So, we're very thankful, and I'm really looking forward to every single business that has agreed to be a part of our Eagles Landing development. As far as design standards, as far as signage and all that, our engineer, had said, you need to put a statement in there stating that on a case-by-case basis, that you would by resolution, and we would do it by resolution, that you could deviate from the original design standards that were created for Eagles Landing. And that's all I'm asking right now. Anytime we would deviate from the design standards, that would be approved separately by council.
And that was the only change proposed, so.
Yeah, that's what it was said, it was just on the bottom of the,
That highlighted
I thought we had
sentence.
that discretion on everything.
well, we do, but our city engineer just thought it was a good idea that we add that to the design standards, and that we would take it by a case-by-case basis.
I make a motion to approve that change.
A second.
Or was that an ordinance?
No,
It's just.
yeah, and it's not to do anything with our ordinances, nothing to do with our zoning. It is, the design standards is for Eagles Landing alone. That's
Just
it.
giving us the option to look at somebody's change before they.
Right. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 16, request to name new streets in Eagles Landing development. This was, I put that on there because I want to get it in motion. We have Doris Drive, of course, that is going to be completed throughout the development in phase 2. However, there's nothing on Doris Drive on the east side of Evansdale Drive that has a Doris Drive address at this time. So I was like, well, this was a perfect opportunity for us to, kind of go with the theme of Eagles Landing. We have the roadway that's already completed is Eagle View Drive. And now that we're gonna have the northern road to Gilbertville access as well, Gilbertville Road, then we would have the opportunity to name that. So, I'll just throw that out, you guys can discuss it. We all, I threw out some ideas when I sent the email out to you all. And I know some of you guys have some great ideas of what you would like those roads to become.
Well, I know in your email, you said you weren't fond of birdland.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great name. And really, and it lines up more or less with birdland that's already there.
I guess it's better than Doris. I guess it's better than Doris.
Yeah.
Well, I have spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I have an idea to propose at a later date for something related to it. But I went in and Googled Eagles street names all over the country, and there's quite a few. But I would propose, since our addition is called Eagles Landing, I would propose calling Doris Drive Eagles Landing Parkway. That's the introduction to the whole area. And I would propose that the one that is Birdland, which is a fine name. Birds
Well,
are
yeah,
nice.
because eagles are birds.
But I think Eagle Rock Road sounds so much better for that.
Say that
area.
again, please.
Eagle Rock Road. It's the shortest of the 3 roads. And that's what I would propose.
Well, and it wouldn't be too far of a stretch just to call it all one name, would it? I mean, even though it's a T.
I never thought about that, but it doesn't curve, it actually,
You gotta think of people driving in, the confusion.
Well, yeah, building numbers, of course.
that's a thought though. Eagle View Drive.
Say on street signs for crying out loud.
These are just, these are just thoughts, there's nothing in
I kinda like what you got, like the Eagles Landing Parkway.
Yeah.
Because there's not really much there that says it's Eagles Landing. And
Right.
it would give,
We have to remember too, they've got these street addresses have been printed on business cards and letterheads and, that's a lot of words.
Yeah.
Think of it from the businessman's, perspective, something professional,
So while I did not have anything creative in street names minded, but I did take at least the concept that most of the streets named in town are from the developers. So the city itself, at least in my lifetime that I can remember, has been fairly rare that the city got to name a street.
Mm-hmm.
So I took up what I know places have done in the past, or the most recent one was when Meridian, well, it's probably one's been more recent because that's been a while, but I remember when Meridian put out to their membership and just said, hey, we're having a contest. What's our new business name and why? And they kind of had people write in and do a certain small paper and for it. So I didn't know if again, this is totally just throwing darts at a dartboard. And I'm not a dart player, so they're really aiming wherever in the direction. If we were to partner with like our schools and ask for something, it would be Bunger, probably more than Pointer, but give them some criteria, give them Eagles Landing and Evansdale, and we're kind of thinking this direction. And use that for an assignment or an extra credit piece or anything for, you know, the ability to say, hey, my paper, whatever, won, and I got to name this street. I did look at and talk with the mayor about if there was some kind of reward or a spiff or, you know, even working with some of the partners moving out there like Quick Star to offer up, you know, a gift card or something. The city, I know, even has some funds to kind of do that. We did run into just making sure the fairness of it, the legalities, that we would have to open it up to pretty much anybody at that point, so it would be more of a citywide paper. So didn't know if necessarily having a reward or something for at the end of it, but maybe even just, again, total concept out. It obviously would have to be done, school's done at the end of the month, obviously we don't want to sit on this too long, but just purely an idea to further engage, you know, a relationship with the schools and partners in education type of thing. It's not a bad idea. So,
Well, the only concern I have is that if you look at Pointer, what kind of a name is that? I mean, we could end up with something that's so far out in left field, it has no connection to Evansville whatsoever.
and that's where we have to put in certain criteria, and then again, it's up to the council to obviously accept it, and not that I would wanna come in and, you know, crush some 6th, 7th, or 8th graders' dreams that they had won, but, you know, it's, so we do the fire prevention week every year. We have a poster contest that is done at the elementary, and while some kids are just extremely creative and kind of do whatever they want to draw it, there is a theme and certain guidelines that they must adhere to be awarded and then sent to the state contest. We have to award it based on that. And for the most part, they do a pretty good job sticking into that theme. And again, we have to kind of think that through, but yeah, Eagles Landing, and it needs to kind of think this and come in, I mean, so we would put in something so that, yes, because otherwise if we don't put some sort of guidance and direction for them, we're gonna have the TikTok, Minecraft looking YouTube.com something, so yeah, bruh. Yes, thank you for that. So yeah, definitely would have to kind of make sure we keep them focused.
Yeah, make sure not to, you know, make sure Quick Start doesn't get, you know, contacts with, you know, Dunkin' Donuts, Life.
Glazers Drive, yeah, exactly. So again, it was just another concept, not that I'm against us, just simply because I know Sandy, you put in a bunch of time. I didn't hate some of the suggestions that came up, it was just, I just took it as a rare opportunity that I'm like, man, when's the last time the city got to name one of its streets? I couldn't tell you, so.
Well,
Eagle View Drive.
Eagle View.
Eagle View? Okay,
Yeah, we
sorry.
get to do that.
There,
Oh,
I got it
yeah,
wrong.
it's your birthday.
That was the city clerk's deal at that time.
No.
Yeah.
I do like your idea. In fact, when the water tower was built, the waterworks had a contest to get the colors.
Oh, okay.
The color of the tower itself and then the trim color. I would propose that the city name the streets, the city council. The idea that I will be proposing would allow for a feature that could be named by a citizen. And try it on in.
We've got a lot of time to think about it.
I'm in favor of letting the grown-ups pick the name out of the industrial park.
The reason why this is on the agenda is because we are moving forward with phase 2. So when we're moving forward, you know, it'd be nice to have the name of the streets on there when they're doing all the maps.
That's not how we tell people directions here in the Midwest. You go down to Johnny's on the corner, you hang that left, and if you see the blue house, you went too far.
Not if your father was a truck driver.
It's the rock with the paint on top.
No, and I'm fine with that. I'm not dead set, you know, to die on my hill for that. It was just, as I'm randomly reading emails coming up with concepts, I'm like, oh, this is something.
Well, I guess what I'd like to see on the next agenda is that you all participate and throw it in a hat and we will vote on it. So are you in favor, would make a motion to make that a priority for our next meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mayor Council reports, I just want to state again, we discussed it at the last meeting, it wasn't made formal yet, and that is our May 31st block party. It's gonna be at Angels Island, not Angels Island, Angels Park, sorry about that. We will have a band there, this is all provided by Gallagher Blue Dorn. They do this just throughout the areas, Blackhawk County, Cedar Valley, I don't know how much they go outside that area and provide that. They're providing the band, which is Nevertheless. So come out, rock on. There'll be food vendors there and there'll be things for the kids, chocolate bubbles and sidewalk chalk, and it sounds like it's just gonna be a great time. It's gonna be from 6 to 10, the band will be playing from 7 to 9.
Is that Memorial Weekend?
No, it is not, it is after Memorial
The
Weekend.
one after, yeah.
And didn't they say to bring your own drink and chair?
Yeah, BOB and your, bring a luncheon to sit on. Or a blanket, if you wanna sit on the grass. Justin.
And then again, just because every good thing takes 7 times to remember as they teach us, at least that's what they taught me, so maybe I'm just special. July 26th and 27th, led from the fire department side, but absolutely in participation with the city. The 75th anniversary celebration of the fire department and its association, July 26th and 27th. Looking for the parade and fireworks and music, and I believe trying to get food vendors and things in that Friday evening. And then mud volleyball, music, ton of kids' activities, food vendors, obviously the beer trailer and stuff there as well. And then I believe at this point there's at least 2 bands. I think they're even working on a 3rd band for Saturday night. So an event that's trying to keep on a variety and all kinds of things put together as a Friday evening and then a whole Saturday from 7, 8 o'clock as we start setting up and get ready for my volleyball, all the way through the evening until I believe 11 or midnight.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Hope to see you all there. It's gonna be a great event and it's honoring our volunteer fire department of 75 years.
To the day, but we found actual media print that states the fire department was sanctioned and established July 27, 1949. So it worked out really well that we had to pick that day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Council, anything else? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Yeah.
Good seeing you, Mayor.